Well, thank you both very much indeed for coming in. Now, you're embarking on what can only be called, I guess, a mad adventure. Just, Rob, tell us a bit about what you've got planned.
Yeah, that's right. We're planning on travelling 25,000 kilometres by motorbike. So we're heading from Vladivostok on the east coast of Russia to London. We're going through about 18 different countries over about 6 months, and none of us have prior motorbike experience. In short.
Yeah, I read somewhere, Rob, that you, the first time you took the bike out, it was something of an experience.
That's right. There was a few wheelies. There's a bit of bunny hopping, pulling out in front of cars at the first intersection as we turned out. So it was really a trial by fire. And
you've given me the map of your journey here, and as you say, it starts in Vladivostok, but it goes through what you can really only describe as bandit country. I mean, we've got the Mongolian steppes, we've got the Gobi Desert. You go through Kazakhstan. I mean, this isn't a holiday camp, is it? It's tough.
Yeah, I think you're right. I guess we took our start point and our end point first, and then we filled in the gaps in the middle. You're right, some of the areas probably will be quite dangerous, but we are trying to minimise those risks as much as we can, doing as much research as we can into the best places to go. But it will be an adventure. Could be interesting.
Now, you're not actually just doing it for fun. There's a serious reason behind it all. So what are you raising money for?
There is. It started off as a concept of 5 blokes riding from one side of the world to the other, and everything that comes in between in terms of adventure and experience and doing something different. But when we publicised what we were doing, started talking to our friends and our family about it, we realised there was a real power behind what we were doing, that people were genuinely interested in it and wanted to know our story. And so we thought we could really add to that, and we could align ourselves with an organisation, a charity, and use the momentum behind the trip to publicise and to generate money for a charity. And so what we did, we started looking around for a charity that would really benefit from what we were doing, and we started looking for a grassroots charity, someone and a project that was really going to make a difference in people's lives. And that's when we found Living Hope through our contacts and Rachael Hughes.
So what does Living Hope do? Because they're based in Vladivostok, aren't they?
That's right. Living Hope looks after the street kids in Vladivostok. It tries to, it provides some of the more basic primary things like care and food and love, but also tries to kind of invest in the kids' futures by teaching them basic life skills and trying to give them skills and the ability to get an education and a job. We really wanted to help something like Living Hope. I've been to Siberia before and seen the conditions that street kids live in, and Living Hope was basically the perfect charity for us to support. It's really down to earth, really grassroots, and it's run by a lovely Kiwi lady, Rachael Hughes.
Is it a New Zealand thing to want to do things like this, do you think?
It could well be. In a lot of respects, we're kind of doing it the other way around. We said that we want to achieve this, we want to go from here to here, and how can we make it happen? And how can we overcome each of the obstacles that we know we're going to face? Instead of planning it out in every last minute detail, which isn't really something that you can do, it's not feasible to do that, and then say we're going to do the trip, because we're satisfied that it's possible. So we really did start the other way around, and it's coming together, and it definitely looks achievable to us.
I mean, I'll have to ask you some practical questions. Like, I know that one of your crew broke a leg in training at Port Waikato. Now, that's fine if it happens at Port Waikato, because that's only on the edge of civilization. Whereas when you get out to the middle of the Gobi Desert, there isn't going to be an air ambulance. So what happens if the worst happens?
Well, look, I guess it's something we can only tackle when it happens, but we do have really, really good medical insurance. That was sponsored to us by QBE Insurance, and that'll basically get us an air evacuation from anywhere we need. We've got a satellite phone so that we can basically call in the artillery if we need to, and we basically training ourselves, equipping ourselves with first aid skills, like really sort of bush skills that we can use to sort of improvise and get to safety. It's strange though, because you for example, you research something like snake bites, and on the internet it all says stabilise the victim until the helicopter comes. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what if the helicopter isn't available? Then what do you do? So yeah, it is a risk, and it's just one of those things that we'll have to sort of take as we get there, with as much pre-planning as we can.
And that's the scary part of doing the research too, is you start researching things like tick bites, and you think, okay, I can deal with a tick bite if we get that, and then on the bottom of the same page you'll say, okay, now we talk about white mountain leopards, snow leopards. So did you know, fact box, there's 4,000 of these, roughly where you're going. And so you keep moving down through your preparations and realise there's a lot there that you really just have to tackle when and if it happens.
Now, you're going all the way through Russia, and then through what you call the Stans, and then you come into Europe. I guess once you get to Europe, it's a bit easier, isn't it?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So the majority of the time will be spent on that section, the difficult section.
I guess we want to probably focus on the areas where it's difficult to get to. It's probably only once in our lives that we'll be in Tajikistan, on the Pamir Highway, whereas, I mean, if it comes to it, we can quite easily get a flight to Greece and, tour around the Greek islands again. So yeah, I think we do want to focus on those sort of countries.
Yeah. I have to ask you what your friends and family thought. You're at St Paul's Church in Auckland. What sort of response did you get from them when you told them what you were going to do?
St Paul's has actually been really good about it. They've supported us a lot. A lot of people have helped us with the fundraising for the charity, because our whole premise with the fundraising is that we're travelling 25,000 kilometres and we'd like to raise $25,000, and we want to do that in order to build a dormitory where 20 street kids can sleep. So St Paul's has got right on board with that in terms of just supporting us, letting us speak about it in church, and just getting behind us any way they can.
Well, we'll all be thinking of you. I'm sure it'll go really well, but keep in touch with us. Let us know how you get on.
Will do.
Thank you.